Hello, men and women, children of all ages. Welcome to the special episode of The Jet Take. I'm Kyle Fahey, and in this episode, we got a special treat. As you guys probably know by now, our latest episode with Minish Meta was our 100th episode, and first, we would like to say thank you guys for continuously sticking with us through our ups and downs, through our growing processes, and honestly, I really never thought we would get to 100 episodes, but here we are. So, in honor of that, Ben and I have subjected ourselves to being roasted by our comrades and colleagues. As you guys know, Joe Caporoso, Dave Osorio, Greg Armstrong, and a bunch of other guys from TOJ, Scott Mason, will be coming on. Of course, we'll have some people who have called in the past, some callers, some special guests, some divisional rivals, all in this episode. So basically what we're doing, they'll be roasting us, they'll be congratulating us, and it's just going to be about 5 to 10 minutes per person. So thank you guys so much for consistently downloading our crappy podcast, and enjoy the roast. All right, we're going to start off this roast with the boss of TOJ, the guy who signs our paychecks, Joe Caporoso, of course. You've probably seen him on every possible Twitter television show there is. If you have a stock, he can probably talk about it. If you have a coach that needs to be fired, he'll probably drive the bandwagon. Boss, what's going on?
Nothing. I'm happy to be here for your guys' 100th episode. 100 episodes before 20 years old for both of you. It's pretty impressive. It's quite a milestone.
Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot.
It's not easy in the overcrowded Jets podcast ecosystem to crank out that much content. And what do you got? You guys publish on what, like 7, 8 different platforms, the podcast?
Something like that. Yeah.
Look, I mean, I'm here to say congrats. I'm here to say that watching you and Ben fight in a Twitter DM group chat was one of the most soul-crushing and annoying things I got notifications about over the past 12 months, and why we had to migrate our conversations to Slack, because you guys were incessantly fighting with each other like a couple of angry kindergartners. But, you know, that's part of being friends and part of running the podcast together, I suppose. You know, I hope as you guys, work through college and you become young professionals, you could develop a little more consistency on your guys' publishing schedule, not so much sporadic episodes. I think you guys got some good stuff to say, but in terms of just not having random episodes every 17 days or so, I think it would help the viewership, or listenership, I'm sorry. But more seriously, you guys are definitely have done way more podcasts than I have by the time I was 17, 18, 19, whatever it is you kids are at now. So congrats to you on the first 100 episodes.
You know, we're hoping for another 100 episodes. I think by then you'll probably fire us, though.
Yes, at some point I anticipate between episodes 101 and 199, you'll say something that will require me to cut you off.
Oh, I'm definitely going to hit some sort of nerve. I mean, there's going to be some sort of movement that I eventually just can't hold back my words on, right?
I'm sure they will. Twitter may end up banning you as well.
Oh, I'm very close to getting my account banned. I think I have 2 strikes against me already for being reported. So I think it's the 3-strike policy of Twitter.
Be careful out there.
Yeah. I mean, you're the only one verified out of us. So, I mean, you obviously know what you're doing on Twitter.
It's a long, arduous process to get verified, which is now no longer even like a process you could submit through anymore, because the platform has just been infected with so much negativity. I think they shut it down. All
right, so we have a couple questions about the Jet Take. Since we got the roast in, you got a couple nice, accurate digs in there, as only the boss could say. So out of the host, I mean, out of the two of us, who's your favorite?
I think I like when you guys have Greg guest host. Better than both of you.
That was a nice roundabout answer. That was like a solid curve right there.
We're still working through the roast portion of it, right?
Yeah. I mean, you are handing out roses right now and still plucking us with the thorns.
Exactly.
Okay. What do you think our best episode's been? Because I know you listen to all of them.
The ones where I've been interviewed. Bringing a little credibility to
that's
the
fair.
Right now. I've had a couple good long appearances on the one where you guys kept me on for like 4 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, we're just desperate for content at times, so I mean, anytime we can get a talking head on there, we got to do it.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a part of the game. Who is the favorite guest as a player? I mean, we have all sorts of friends of the podcast.
Look, I think Darren Lee was a good get for you guys. Obviously I've been critical of his play at times, but the fact that he does his media appearances with some of the fan podcasts, I think that's a positive thing. And because of that, I think he's actually played better this year.
I also, we are completely taking the credit for Darren's success this year. I would just like to say, and if for those who haven't realized that, because everybody will be hearing this, we're definitely taking the credit. I mean, we're definitely going to pump out some shirts soon.
That's only fair.
I don't know if Candace Lee's going to have a problem with this. I think his mom's name is Candace, but I think shirts that said "We made Darren Lee" would sell like hotcakes on the TOJ site.
Listen, I think you should go for it. I can't guarantee a spot in a Loyalist store, but I think you should try.
Try. Might branch off like some of the other sites out there, right?
Once again, thank you to Joe for coming on and basically ripping us a brand new asshole. So we're going to move on with the roast, and next on the list is Scott Mason.
Okay, now on for the roast is the one and only, basically our guest host, our third member of the Jet Take. I don't know. Greg might have that title. Scott Mason from the Play Like a Jet podcast, the Pod God. He produces almost every podcast on TOJ. Scott, what's going on?
Hey, Kyle, what's going on, man? So Greg is now the third member. I guess, does this mean this is way before your time, and this is the kind of thing you would make fun of me for, but does this make me Pete Best? I've been kicked out of the band. I'm no longer a member of the Beatles.
Only reference I get for the Beatles is that chick who broke them up, and I can't even pronounce her name.
Yoko Ono.
There we go. Hey. There
Sure.
So
right. 100 episodes, Kyle, huh?
Yeah, 100 episodes. How many of them are good?
Did you get? Yeah. How did you guys make it without killing each other? I thought for sure one of you guys was going to end up dead.
For me, personally, a lot of codeine.
I got to say, though, Kyle, calling in to the Jet Take so many times and, like you said, being like almost an honorary guest host half the time, it still amazes me that you are, without a doubt, the toughest 60-pound soaking wet person I know and probably will ever know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's factual in every way possible.
And you guys have that dynamic together where you're kind of the, I guess you would say, the hardened kid, and he's sort of the preppy, and it almost feels like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where you're Will Smith and he's Carlton.
Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of what the dynamic is on the show, but it really works. Is Ben not here because he's getting fitted for some bow ties, or what's happening?
I think he said something about mimosas. I guess, he doesn't show up often. It's kind of like his court hearings and child support payments. They don't often go through.
Child support payments? Wow. I didn't realize that he was on the hook for that. I thought it was just parking tickets, but I guess he graduated to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have a neighborhood in his gated community for people to report him about poorly driving.
Yeah, is it true that Ben was saying he was going to train to fight you to box, and he had some, like, $1,000 an hour trainer, but he was saying that he was working out on his own?
Yeah, Ben does have a physical trainer for some reason. I don't know. I guess when you're built like white bread, you need a trainer. So.
Well, is it true, though, also that you were training by eating Doritos? Because that's what I was hearing from him.
Yeah, I have the blender for smoothies, which are solely constructed out of mint chocolate chip ice cream, Doritos, and Baja Blast Mountain Dew. So I have to go to Taco Bell a lot to get Mountain Dew because that's the only place they sell Baja Blast. So, I was training well.
I feel like you're taking Ben lightly because you think he's a blue blood or an aristocrat. And you never know, man. Those guys, they can be kind of cagey. Sometimes those rich dudes know rich dude tricks and stuff. You got to be careful.
I was thinking him more of as a bureaucrat, like unelected and somehow feels like he has power, but really doesn't.
Like a dictator? I'm trying to think of Ben as a dictator. What would he do as a dictator?
Well, for one, yikes. Can't make that joke. I was about to go way too far on this roast. He'd probably... Ooh, what doesn't Ben like? He'd probably make
charging for Crohn's disease medicine, illegal. He'd probably make that free for himself. Even though he has the money, he's always complaining about it. What else would he do? He would definitely get, who was that comedian? C.K. Lewis? Is that his name? He would definitely get C.K. Lewis a live show again, because Ben just refuses to admit that dude is, like, creepy.
Louis C.K., he's going to die on that hill?
Yeah, I mean, it's either that or the Crohn's disease, whichever is going to kill him first. I don't really know.
I just hope he doesn't act like Louis. That was a little creepy, that stuff that was going on there.
Well, I think he went to Syracuse just because the orange correlation there, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that makes sense. What does Syracuse cost these days? About $650,000 a year? But that's nothing to someone like Ben, right?
Yeah, I think it's just one commitment to not say anything, and I think he'll just get in there.
But I mean, the rumor I'm hearing, though, was that you're going to Barstool University next year, so I guess it's a little bit less money.
Yeah, it is pretty cheap. I can just sleep on a couch and eat famous cookies all day. Basically what Ben's doing at Syracuse. Professor
Portnoy, but you fit in perfectly there because their entire MO is basically trashing people on social media, right? So, I mean, that's really what you do already.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I have talent or anything, so me just typing away at a keyboard and getting paid for it with minimal health care, sounds like something I'm up for.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said, Kyle, you're kind of like a tick in a way. You get under everybody's skin and they don't even realize it, and by the time they do, it's too late. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how many times I've remarked to people on TOJ after you get somebody so mad that they either get themselves banned or suspended or everybody's laughing at them, and I'm like, wow, Fahey really is amazing how he's able to get these people to just show the worst sides of themselves. It's some sort of weird gift from hell that you have.
Yeah, they say when I was born I had a tail that they cut off, so.
Well, now we know what it was used to do. You took that tail and you turned it into Satan's rod, and now you're using it on Twitter to just torment people. I always laugh, too, because I always say, I've never seen someone so young and so skinny get so many people this riled up and do this much damage. I mean, in some ways, you've kind of got that weird thing about you where you're able to just destroy people by setting a little bit of a mousetrap, and then they do the rest of the work themselves. It's really a remarkable talent you have. I feel like if you're somebody that's famous and you want to ruin your rivals, you just hire you to go out there and throw barbs at, if you're, let's say you're some famous football player, like say you're Peyton Manning and you're tired of hearing crap about Tom Brady this, Tom Brady that, you just have throw barbs at like Giselle, make Giselle explode, and the next thing you know, Tom Brady looks like a jerk. These guys should all hire you.
Yeah, I'm like the Mark Zuckerberg of getting people riled up on the internet. I'm skinny, I'm secluded, I look like an alien, and I'm really just controlling the world with my fingertips.
All you're missing is the, $12 billion he has. But other than that, you guys are about the same.
Well, I'll just use my degree from Barstool University, extort Ben with the knowledge that I have, and I should be fine.
Yeah. I mean, you can get away from the kiddie table, as Connor Rogers would say, right?
Yeah. That was actually one of the better things I've ever read in that group chat. And Joe said earlier in this episode that we got Slacker or Slack, whatever that new app's called, because he was so sick of reading me and Ben going back and forth on Twitter.
It's funny because I still remember saying to Joe Malfa, who's like a year or two older than you guys, like, Malfa, how is it that you don't get sucked into this stuff and all I do is read Kyle and Ben threatening to kill each other and drop gifts and all that in the group chats? And Malfa's like, I don't know, man, I'm just too busy with other stuff. I don't have time. But I'm like, Fahey's got nothing but time to get his hands dirty. That's what he does.
Yeah, especially at 1 o'clock in the morning. That's really when I'm getting my hands dirty. Yeah.
Shout out to Scott Mason for coming on the pod and kind of roasting us. He got us on a couple. I've heard better. I think we'll finish with this strong one, and we ended on a masturbating joke, so we'll go with, in Ben's eyes, the biggest jerk-off in the game, D.A. Osario.
And now we're here with a fellow rap guru like myself, D.A. Osario, a man of many talents, a fairly new father. I don't think I ever really got to say congratulations for that, by the way. Congrats, D.A.
Thank you.
D.A., I brought you here today to celebrate the 100th episode of the Jet Take, and at the same time, probably put me in tears, because I know, like myself, you are a fellow body bagger. I've definitely learned some of the tricks of the trade from you. So, D.A., how are you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. I can't complain. It is Sunday. First and foremost, congrats to the Jet Take on 100 episodes, although I feel like 91 of them shouldn't really count because they came BTOJ before TOJ. And it was when you were working with, a terrible magazine and just terrible people overall. And I feel like we rescued you guys from a burning building. And Ben is ungrateful because that's what happens with people who have white privilege. And they think that they're above the fray, and we were able to save you guys from what was going on. And and Kyle, you've always been a body bagger, but you're kind of a late bloomer, and it just felt good to be able to rescue you from the shadows, from the pits of hell, from the pits of blog hell, in terms of Jet sites and Jet fans and guys who pay for billboards and guys who then get flack when you crap on them all over their billboards, and you guys were a part of that. I feel like you guys don't get your just due for being a part of such a failing empire that had to shut everything down. But here we are. You guys, came over to TOJ, and we could be more thrilled, if we, had a better call-in show, but I guess it's fine. We'll take what we get from you guys. And I think that, Kyle, if you would put more onus on, just recording the show instead of out there, chasing women around Florida, I would think that we would be all right. And if Ben spent more time recording the show instead of going around the Pacific Northwest screaming about Dame Lillard until he leaves for the Lakers, I think we'd be fine too. Or challenging me to 2K matchup when he knows he's going to get his ass beat. But seriously, guys, all jokes aside, it is awesome to have you guys being part of the TOJ family. I know you guys didn't agree to all jokes aside, but I'm going to take it there anyway. You guys have been a fantastic addition. Honestly, the best call-in show out there, hands down. You guys have, had great interviews with Manish and with Darren Lee and with just a lot of guys a lot of bigger names, a lot of guys that have been doing this for longer, wish that they could have. And that's a testament to the hard work that you guys put in. And for me, honestly, I couldn't be more thrilled personally because I like both of you generally. You more than Kyle, Kyle more than Ben, just because you and I bond over rap and body backing, and then I don't know what on earth we could bond over, but I couldn't be more thrilled to have you guys as part of the team. And honestly, here's to 100 more episodes as part of the TOJ empire.
D.A., I think that was the best one so far. Thank you for your time.
No problem, man. Congrats, TOJ 100.
I think we ended on a really strong note there with D.A. Osario coming on and getting Ben and I pretty good, not going to lie. Was laughing super hard throughout most of that roast, throughout production when I'm recording this now, and throughout the entire pre-recording for this. But in all seriousness, thanks to all those guys for coming on. We would like to have everybody else from TOJ. Greg Armstrong, big disappointment. Thanks for not coming on, buddy. And then other guys flaked on me. It's whatever though. It doesn't really matter. But from the bottom of, well, I don't know about Ben's heart. He doesn't really have one. But from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much for tuning in for all these episodes. I guess this is going to be the 101st episode, but we're celebrating the 100th episode, and cheers to another 100 more. So with that being said, thank you guys for listening. Thanks for the download. If you're still listening this far, you're crazy. And go Jets.